with the Inside Track today on Real Estate with the Decker team, and I'm Yetta Decker. And today I have an amazing guest with me. His name is Mark, and he is from Greenmark Builders. If you haven't heard the name yet, you're going to be hearing it lots in and around Ottawa. Great new, well, not that new actually, but great custom home builder. And so I'm going to introduce you to Mark. He's sitting right next to me. You're probably already looking at him, wondering who this great guy is next to me. So hello, Mark.
Hey, Yetta.
Nice to have you here today.
It's great to be here. Thanks.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit, because I know everybody's interested in knowing, what is Greenmark Builders?
Okay, so Greenmark Builders is a custom home building company where we build custom homes that are unique for each one of our clients. We consider ourselves a next generation builder where each home that is designed custom. We feel that if you're gonna build a custom home, then it should be to reflect your personality. Okay. And so that's where we excel in our marketplace.
Well, that's wonderful. And I bet they're all quite unique and different, and you probably won't drive up the street and see three the same in the same community, because even if you build more than one in a community, they're unique to one another because they reflect the person.
That's exactly it. And even when you're in the custom market, you're not limited to your 10 color palette that you might be limited to in a production market or whatever home building avenue you might choose from. The sky's the limit, really, in custom.
Okay, and I guess the only thing that differentiates or sets a limit on the sky is the price point.
That's exactly
Sometimes a certain color or a certain style is going to cost me more money because it's not part of the standard sort of supply and demand.
That's right. Okay. That's right. If you want stone from Italy, you're going to pay for stone from Italy.
Okay.
But if you're okay with having your Shouldice product from Toronto, well then, that's a great product that we love putting in our homes.
Right, so your flexibility is as much flexibility as you can afford, basically.
That's right.
As much as your pocketbook will allow, you can have anything you want with Mark.
That's right.
Which is kind of neat.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, awesome. And so now, a question that I always get, because we've been working with builders for many years and new home construction and stuff for a long, long time, something that always comes up is the whole question around, who's a Tarion builder? What does it mean to be a Tarion builder? What does that do for me? How does that protect me? Or does it even matter?
Okay, so Tarion is a very important part in building a home. We are licensed Tarion builders. We've taken the Tarion exam, gone through their course, and what it does is it protects homeowners when it comes to the after sales service of your home. So with the Tarion process, you've got a 30-day form and you've got a 12-month form that you fill out, and that covers the cosmetics of your home. Okay. And it extends up to 7 years, and that's for the structure of your home. So it's a very, very nice insurance to have for your home, where if you go out and do a project management build or build your own home, the risk is really on your own hands.
Right, so basically what Tarion does is charge you, the builder, a fee, or does the fee get charged to the homeowner?
So I get charged the fee, and I pay an annual dues to be a part of it.
Okay.
And so they make sure that we are keeping up to our end of the bargain and taking care of our clients.
Okay, and it also, I would imagine, and this is probably important for all of you that are listening and watching us today, that the quality that a Tarion home builder has to subscribe to is something that's going to withstand, because you've got at least a 7-year structural guarantee there. And so you don't want something to go south because you're still going to come back and deal with it.
That's right. It's not Tarion Corporation that comes and fixes it. It's Greenmark Builders that comes and takes care of that for them.
Okay, and Tarion only steps in, if I'm right, and you can correct me if I'm not, is if the builder won't do what they're called to do, then Tarion will get an outside contractor and bill you, Greenmark, for any cost.
That's right.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
So it's in your best interest to just take care of the problem right up front, if there is one.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And I would think also that it mitigates many of the problems that could come up when you know that you're under that kind of scrutiny and you're under that control.
Oh, for sure. I definitely don't want to have to go down the road of, trying to deal with clients that are unhappy just because of some simple little detail in the home that I could have easily taken care of at the start. So for sure, I'm thinking exactly that way.
So most of the time, you're not even going to deal with Tarion other than going through the process of the 30-day report, the 1-year report, and then if there is any minor deficiencies, Mark and his crew are going to come back and take care of those things.
That's right. And even with Tarion warranty, we have an up and above warranty above that, where we have.
Tell us about that.
So what we offer is a 1-year Greenmark Builders Homeowner Manual, which in that manual, it covers everything that we cover up and above the Tarion warranty.
Okay.
So we do 1-year repairs, even though they're not covered by Tarion.
So, and what would an example of something be that wouldn't be covered under Tarion that you would still come in as Greenmark Builders and take care of?
So for example, like cracks in your grout. Say you get a minor crack in your grout and you're going, well, this doesn't look nice, but you know, your house moves, even though people like to think, hey, I'm jumping on my floor, it feels really solid, it doesn't feel like anything's moving, but as you know, in the housing business, your house does move in the season. So, you know, that first year you might get a crack in your grout or a crack along the tub where your caulking is. We come in after a year and we'll touch that up.
Because that's not covered under Tarion.
That's not covered under Tarion. A lot of builders will do that, but for us, it's just one thing we just do anyways.
Right. You don't even have to ask.
That's right.
You just basically, you're going to come in, you're going to do your 1-year report, your walkthrough, and then if you see these things, you're going to take care of it. You're not even waiting for the homeowner to say, Mark, I got a problem.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Well, that's great. And additional follow-up, that's one aspect of it. Is there anything else you do in that first year besides the additional 1-year scrutiny of the house? So
in addition to the Tarion, their 30-day and their 12-month, we have a 60-day and an 11-month. So we come in after that and take care of it, just to give more to our clients, really, and just to show them that we're here for the long haul. We're not just here just to kind of walk in and sell you a house and leave, do the bare minimum. We take it up a notch and really look after our clients. That's
awesome. So that gives you a lot of security and peace of mind, I would think, if you're thinking of building a home, because you've got somebody that is going to stay connected with you. And the neat thing about Mark is he does live locally, does live in the Ottawa area, so he's a family man and engaged in everyday life like the rest of us are. So it's something you might bump into here and there too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you want to have a good rapport with the folks when you do.
Yeah, for sure. I live in communities I build in, that's for sure.
Which is awesome. So what areas, great segue, Mark, what areas do you build in?
So we build all across the city. Majority of our work comes in the Greeley-Manotick area. However, last year we had builds in north of Stittsville, North Canada. We did one waterfront home in Dunrobin Shores. So we're not afraid to build anywhere in the city, but for sure we do the most of our builds in the Greeley area. Okay.
And when you say the city, you're not necessarily meaning the core of the city. You're meaning even sort of the outlying areas, because I'm Dunrobin Shores, I guess that still falls under the city. However, it's getting out there.
That's right. Yeah, for the most part, we build on estate lots, but the house we built in North Canada was an infill project, and also we're doing other infill projects this year. So we're not afraid to do that either.
Okay. Actually, he's not only not afraid, he's eager to do it. He likes the variety. So it's kind of neat that Mark doesn't want to do just the standard cookie cutter, as we've talked about earlier. He's a custom home builder. So custom pertains not only to the house, it pertains to the lot.
That's right.
And the situation and the setting. So whether you're in the east end of town or just outside what we might think of as the city proper, or you're on the west or on the south, you'd want to give Mark a consideration if you're going to build a home. So that's really neat. So there's no area that you're limited to.
No, not at all.
Okay, fantastic. And what about if I have a lot already that I like? Is that okay? Or do you need to find me my lot? Or how does the whole lot selection work?
So a lot of the time people will come to us and say, hey, we really like a lot, and they'll send me information on a lot, and I'll be able to kind of give them feedback and say, oh yes, I know the subdivision, whatever. I can kind of give them advice and say, well, you know, you might not want to do a walkout basement on this type of subdivision because there's high water table there, and you know, we can help out that way. But we also have an inventory of our own lots. But we're happy to build on clients' lots. That's a big part of our business, is building on clients' lots.
So it doesn't really matter either way.
No, we're happy to just build for you guys.
Okay, that's perfect. So now something that is always a question in people's minds, at least when I've spoken to them about any sort of building project, is this HST, which we used to call GST, which I guess it was GST, Goods and Services Tax, and now it's the Harmonized Sales Tax. What does that do to the price of a house, and who's paying it? I guess eventually the homeowner is, but how is it structured in a build?
So when we do the pricing on all of our homes, we include HST in our pricing.
Okay.
So you're not hit up with any hidden costs that come down in the future.
Okay.
And if you own your own lot, what we do is we forward the HST rebate on the house to our clients as well. So
Okay.
that's maxes out at $12,000 just on the build end. So it's a good opportunity for people that own their own lots too.
So it doesn't really cause a problem because you're just sending it back
That's
to
right.
who's been paying it, basically.
That's right.
Or who's paid
Exactly.
it gets it.
Right.
Okay. And so when we're talking about the rebate, that may not be something you're familiar with. So what Mark is saying is he will charge you the HST. I keep going back to GST, but I know that's a few years ago now. So the HST, he will charge it within the cost of the build, so there's no hidden costs, and any rebates have already been calculated. So those rebates would be assigned back to you if
it's on one
of your lots.
It's assigned back to us, just like any production builder, any builder would do.
Right.
The benefit of myself building on a client's lot is we pass that back to the client.
Right.
And that's just kind of a bonus we do and kind of an incentive to say, hey, we'd love to build on your lot.
Okay,
So
perfect. That's wonderful. Now, what about length of time to actually build a home? I know if you're building with a tract home builder, somebody that's building mass homes, you have very little control as the person having a home built. You never know when it's going to be ready because they've got certainly ability, even under Tarion, to extend that build date out. However, with a custom home builder, I'm assuming there's more controls and probably less likely of delays. What could somebody expect?
yeah, so what we do, we have a really, really good process where we have it nailed down that we offer our homes 6 months from the Friday of signing. So let's say you sign on a Wednesday, then all of a sudden, the 6 months later on the Friday, you're getting your home. And it doesn't take 6 months to construct the home, but it's the permit fees, or the permit process, excuse me, and the whole kind of getting everything all ready together, and then 6 months later you've got yourself a house. So.
Okay, and does that include the time of getting my plans sorted out?
So for the most part, what we do is we'll initially meet our client. They might say, okay, well, we like your St. Clair model, your Devonshire model, whatever, one of our 11 plans. And they say, okay, well, we start doing some adjustments. They want a few
Lots of
upgrades.
renovations and additions and improvements
Exactly.
and changes.
A few changes. We come up with a price. We're happy. Both ends are happy. We say, okay, well, we're getting ready to sign, but we haven't signed yet. There's another meeting where I come at them with the specs of everything they're going to get. Once we come at them with that, we go and we make a plan. We sign on the plan. It's when we sign for the plan, that's when your 6 months.
That's when your 6 months
That's
start.
right.
Because that could take.
Because sometimes people go back and forth 6, 7 times on a set of plans, and if you're taking a couple days for each time, you're getting into
Never
weeks
mind, you've
very
been sitting
fast.
on the desk for 3 weeks
That's
waiting
right.
to be dealt with.
That's
Okay.
right.
So you deal with the whole plan process long before
That's right.
or prior to dealing with the start of the 6 months.
That's right.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And you were talking about you've got some basic outlines or plans that are already there. You've chosen 11 models that you believe are desirable, and people
Yes.
have been customizing them from there.
Yes.
And I'm assuming also they can come with a completely different idea
Yes.
and
yes.
their own, even if they've already had plans drawn.
Yes, that's right. We're part of the Values That Matter plan group, which is a plan group out of the States, an award-winning plan group that designs home plans in a very smart way, where you're maximizing your efficiency inside the home, getting the most you can out of your plan, and in the end, you're not paying as much as you would pay, let's say, for the same plan, but with a lot of movement in the foundation. And when I say movement, I mean you've got on the main floor of your house, your kitchen wall jets out, and you've kind of got an interesting design to your foundation. So the plans that we have are kind of a very smart way of building. So this is why we offer those plans. But when it comes to sending plans to us, we're happy to bid any plans. And what was the other part of your question you're asking?
It was just about the plans and what the process is.
Yes.
And can I bring my custom plan? So you're answering it perfectly. So what I heard you say, Mark, is the company that you generally work with to create their custom plan, if they have a sketch or they have some idea of what they want, is somebody that creates a very efficient
That's it.
plan.
Efficient. Yes.
Efficient, which also means economical for what I'm getting.
That's right. That's right.
Perfect.
In today's economy, we're looking for any advantage we can to give the most to our clients, and
Perfect.
in the end, just make everybody happy.
Okay, perfect. And so if you're just joining us today, this is the Inside Track on Real Estate, and today we're chatting with Mark of Greenmark Builders. And so what we'd like you to do is just, if you haven't heard the entire show, go back and listen to the first half. He answered some great questions about the process and about what's involved in the entire home building journey if you'd like a custom home. And so we're just going to continue chatting about what's involved. And so tell me a little bit about different styles of homes. I mean, a lot of times people will, at least that's been my experience, assume that a bungalow will be less expensive to build than a two-story. And I start to chuckle, not because that's just not true. So what would you say is typical around different styles? What's maybe more economical? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a question I get all the time, and it's
Me
funny.
too.
It's funny how people kind of are surprised at when you tell them that a bungalow costs more. But when you think about it, the cost of a foundation and the cost of the roof are two major components in the building process.
Right, and you get twice, if you have a 2,500 square foot two-story, just to bring some clarity to everybody for that, if I have a 2,500 square foot two-story, I have half the roof and half the foundation that I have on a 2,500 square foot bungalow.
That's right.
So house for house, square footage for square footage, a bungalow is going to cost me a little bit more because it's less expensive to go up
That's right.
than it is to go wide.
That's right, and much more efficient to heat up than it is to heat
To
out.
heat wide.
That's exactly
Right.
it. Yeah.
So a bungalow you would do because you want a bungalow.
Well, that's it. That's it. And a lot of people choose bungalows because they want to retire, or it's just really convenient for people. I find that today I'm building more bungalows than two stories, and it seems to be the clientele that we're running into.
Okay. And what about the raised ranch style of home? They were so popular for a season. Where have you watched them sort of trend?
So we haven't built any in the last 3 years, and
Okay.
I feel just the market is changing. They aren't into it so much. However, they're still going up, and they are a very economical home to build. You're getting really great daylight in a basement. It looks kind of like a two-story, but yeah, for the most part, it's bungalows. If people want the light in the basement, what we'll do often is we'll do a foundation that has a step in the side of it, and then we can put the 3-foot windows in the basement at the back, or do a walkout, and that achieves the same sort of thing as a high ranch or a raised bungalow. Right. And you're getting everything that you would get in that, and
Right.
and a bungalow, a house that looks like a bungalow from the front.
Right. So really it's just an aesthetic shift from the front. And so really in a lot of ways, the back end of the bungalows, a lot of them now, it is trending to be like the amount of daylight you'd get in a raised bungalow.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Yes.
That's a neat way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, people love it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So now, one thing I appreciate about you, Mark, is that your homes go above the standard in the industry. I mean, what's been happening over the years, and I know all of you know this because you tell me that you want more and more quality in terms of finishes. The expectation about what was normal even 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago is not what's expected today. So the quality of finish has become paramount, really, over the last few years. And so I'm sure when you're building, Mark, you're finding that in new construction too.
Oh, I'm definitely finding that. I'm finding that a lot of people, when I go to sit down for the initial meeting and we kind of go and discuss finishes, they're looking at me going, well, hardwood is standard. And I say, well, yes, hardwood is standard. And ceramic is standard. And yes, ceramic is standard. And I'm going through my finishes. And to be quite honest with you, I'm looking for places to upgrade. And there are places you can upgrade. If you want the fancy, drawers with your spoon and everything, your organizers in your cabinet, that's the place you're going to upgrade in. You're not going to go crazy on upgrading your hardwood floor or whatever it is. We don't even put vinyl kitchen floors in our houses anymore. We don't even put bifold doors in our houses anymore. We do only hinge swing doors. We put 3/4 inch plywood underneath all our main floor and any hardwood area. So you know,
And
they're
those used to be things that were upgrades.
definitely used to be upgrades.
And with some builders, they still are upgrades. So what you're hearing right now is Mark talk about his standard, because he's already recognized that these are things that are non-negotiables for people. So rather than feeling like he's upgrading and upgrading and upgrading, or charging and charging and charging, he's saying, I've already figured out that these things are important to everybody, so we're just going to put them into our base price.
That's right.
And include them as a standard, although for some builders, that's not what you're going to find.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is an important distinction when you're attempting to compare a builder to a builder, and I would recommend not even to maybe do that process. However, if you want to compare builder after builder, you're going to find it's very difficult to do, because it's not an apples and apples comparison. A lot of them will take out a lot of what Mark is saying is standard in his homes, and it isn't standard in theirs. So by the time you factor all those things in, the cost doesn't look as wonderful as maybe it initially looked.
That's right.
Is
That's
that right?
And even in our costing, for the most part, we build on estate lots a little bit south of the city, and so we even have like a well and septic built into our pricing. So if you're in the city and you're looking at doing a rebuild or whatever it is, you know, there's definitely allowance for that. So, you know, our prices are very good in that regard.
Right. So what Mark's saying there is, if in fact you were looking at a city build that's on services, the cost for the plan, if you're checking out the standard ones that he's already got priced out and spec'd out, would potentially be less, because he's already factored in for a septic and a well.
That's right.
As
We're not about hidden costs.
Okay,
sure.
Well, that's fantastic. So what are a few features that everybody's looking for today?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. There are some really good features that people love, and I find today the number one is going with that custom ceramic shower in the ensuite, and with the custom glass surround, and the custom granite bench, and even not everybody does this, but doing the multiple jets in the shower, that
it's becoming standard, isn't it?
It's getting there, and people really just love when they walk through a home. They go in the bathroom, they see the shower, they go, oh wow. And of all the times I've walked through clients through homes, I always get the biggest wow when they go into the bathroom and see that shower.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, I like that.
Awesome. So if you're interested in learning more about Greenmark Builders and what Mark has to offer, then I would suggest you connect with us, and we will get you connected with Mark and advise you of what his lots are, just tell you anything you want to know, answer all the questions. And Mark obviously is very eloquent and can answer all the questions as well. So if you want to do that, connect with us at deckerteam.com, or you can call us at the office, 613-860-4663. And we also just want to chat briefly, and maybe we'll give Mark a chance to think of his closing thought, and he'll come back to tell you what he wants to leave you with. Prior to that, I just want to tell you about one of the properties we have for sale right now. It's in Greeley, and it is $460,000, a really nicely situated bungalow. It is vaulted in the great room, which is a feature I'm sure we're still seeing in some homes, unless they want 9-foot ceilings, which I believe is a standard you do.
9 foot is standard on our main floor.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's fantastic. And so this home in Greeley has hardwood throughout, triple car garage, and has a 4-tier deck. It backs onto a tranquil park. So if it sounds like a spot you might want to call home, or if you'd rather build, then either way, connect with us and we'll make sure we get you into the right spot. Before we turn it over to Mark, or I turn it over to Mark for his final thoughts, I know that Mark's got a special offer for our listeners.
Yeah, that's right, Yetta. I've put together an offer where we've got a real stone backsplash, a real stone fireplace that we're offering. We're offering the kitchen backsplash and a hood range, stainless steel hood range. All those are valued at over $9,000 altogether.
Wow.
If you mention CHRI or the Decker team, we're happy to throw that in any of our quotes to our clients.
Wow. So and when we talk about those upgrades being $9,000, is that retail? Is that your cost? I mean, is that a huge markup? Because I know with a lot of builders, the cost isn't the cost.
Yeah, that's right.
So talk to me about that for a second.
So when I say that it's $9,000, this is what we would charge for the upgrades, but it's real cost. We don't make 50% on our upgrades, to be honest with you. So it's a cost that we do pass on as a real cost, but it's not.
It's not an inflated,
That's it.
increased market. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. So do you guys hear that? 9,000 extras, which is a range hood, a stainless range hood.
That's right.
As well as a backsplash in the kitchen.
And a fireplace.
And a fireplace with natural stone.
That's right.
And they look really nice. They're awesome. Yeah. So Mark, what would your closing final thoughts you want to leave everybody with?
Okay, so really, if you're thinking of building custom building in the future, anything like that, really what I would suggest is just find a builder that you feel comfortable with, whether it be us or whoever it is. Find a builder that reflects your personality and gives you the type of service that you really deserve. If you're going to build a dream home or the home that you want to spend the rest of your life in, you better feel comfortable, because it's going to be a big decision you're going to make. So.
And it's a team effort.
That's it. It's a team effort, and we're in there with you all the way through.
That's fantastic. So thank you for joining us on the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Decker team. If you have questions, or there's a special interview, or even if you think you're a candidate to be interviewed with us, connect with us at Decker Team at CHRI, or you can call us at 613-860-4663. And we thank you so much for joining us. And again, you have Mark with Greenmark Builders with us today. Thanks, Mark.
Hey, thanks a lot, Yetta.
What you wanna do?